Welcome to episode 1 of our new podcast, which, Ben, you thought of the name, so it is...
10 kids, no sweat.
No sweat. We do occasionally sweat, but him more than me. And we do also have 10 children. So...
Which was sweaty work.
But we thought we'd give a crack at podcasts because one in particular is the amount of questions that we tend to be asked, because supposedly our lives are super amazing and strange and unusual.
Yeah. We are unusual.
Yeah. So we'll introduce ourselves.
I am Ben, and I married Katherine.
He's also married to me. He was not the minister and the groom.
Oh, right, yeah, technically.
And we have 10 children.
Yes.
And our children's identity is going to be secret, like we'll use code names for them.
We can if you want. You want to do code names?
I don't even know. We haven't thought of these type of things. But basically, our children are aged... Do you want to do it?
Why would I want to do it?
Okay, so they're 16, 15, 13, 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, 3, and 2.
Just 2. You turned 2 the other day.
Yeah, and he is the king of the house.
He is quite cute, yes. But did we plan this? Or was it... This is the question I get. Is it your religion?
Are you Catholic? Are you Mormon?
Yeah.
Did you have a choice? Are you blended family?
Are they all the one wife?
Same father?
And
then there's the really stellar ones, like which ones were the mistake? I do like that one.
Are there any twins?
Yes.
Are there any twins?
Multiples? And, yeah. So, they are... I've given you their ages, but they're all single births.
Yep. And
originally when we were dating, we said 6 kids sounds good.
Yeah, we settled on 6. Well, we didn't even settle. We just said 6 would be nice.
Yeah. And
there was no settling.
Well, you're the youngest of 5.
Yes.
And I'm the middle of 3. And I remember when I was a kid, there was this, what I thought was a huge family, and they had 4 kids, and they had a van. So I think the van, in my Katherine tiny brain, thought that's a huge family.
Van equals big family.
And I only knew one other family, but they were Catholic. And I was like, they only have these kids because they're Catholic.
Mm-hmm. Why would you? For any other reason?
So we got married, and maybe in a future podcast we can go through the whole meeting, dating, marrying.
Mm-hmm.
But let's for ease sake go from the getting married part.
For the first episode, we got married. The end.
We didn't get married.
See you later, folks.
We didn't get married in this episode or just before. We've been married for 17 years.
I was going to say 16.
Yes.
17 years.
17 years. And we very quickly were expecting Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
4 months married.
Was it 4? Because we were in Canada for a total of 6. Was it?
No.
It was like 5.
Yeah, I think we came
4.5.
home pretty much straight away.
Right, yeah.
There were many adventures in that short time in Canada. The harsh reality of the low pay rate and the high cost of car insurance.
We found an ad in it must have been out the front of the library for a librarian position, and I think the pay rate was $18 an hour, and we thought that was massive.
Yeah,
we thought, what?
I spoke to a food giver person. A waitress. I spoke to a waitress, and she said that she was paid when she first started $4.85 plus tips.
Wow.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so we had Ethan. And then I think pretty much we were just kind of like, nah, whatever. And then, I mean, do the math. We had 10 children in 14 years.
Well, firstly, I need to bring this point up. In Canada, being married for 4 months, you thought something was wrong.
Yeah, I was very desperate to have children.
Yeah.
I was very keen. People tell you things like, first you need to be just the two of you for like 2 years. You got to buy your first home. All these shoulds.
Build a nest.
That we get told we have to do. You have to have this amount of savings. You need to live your life first. Because the world...
Well, that's what we were trying to do. We were in Canada.
Yeah, but I do think it's kind of like live your good life, and then once you have kids, your good life's over.
So we had gotten married in Australia, and we went to Hawaii for six nights, and then on to Canada, where we were planning to live for a year.
Yeah, we wanted to road trip through Canada and the US.
Yeah, we wanted to get a van, put a bed in the back of it, and go through the States.
Yeah.
Just as far as we could on what we had, and, you know, work and whatever along the way. I think all our do we have green cards or something?
No, we had just work visas.
Work visas were going to last for the whole year, were they?
Well, I have Canadian citizenship, so I was fine. I now sitting here, like 17 years later, thinking...
It was a pretty bad plan.
It wasn't... Because I don't even think we were thinking about working in the US. It would have been illegal if we ever managed it.
Maybe, yeah. It would have been cash only, under the table kind of stuff. But that was our plan, young, dumb plans. What? And, yeah, they didn't work out because young Ethan joined the party.
Well, that, and when we went to find out about car insurance.
Oh, that's right.
It was going to be like $3,000. Something...
4,000. It was gonna cost more. Oh, I forget. It was like $4,000 a month.
Oh yeah, and we could have bought a whole amazing van for like $1,500.
We could have bought bus ticket tours around the whole planet for the amount of money it was going to cost to insure this Bedford that we were looking at. And hey, good on us. We were looking at vans.
We had dreams.
We were going for it.
And back then you could go places that you wanted to go to. So times change.
The van it was like a Bedford. It had a V8 under the front seats with no cover. Oh, it had some of the cover, but I could see the road from the driver's seat.
Wow.
Like through the floor.
So that's like dodging a bullet, I guess.
It could have been a really bad mistake.
Could have been on the news.
It could have been the greatest thing we'd ever done. But Ethan decided to join the party.
Yep.
4 months in.
Yeah.
And you were no longer worried about why you weren't pregnant.
And then I was worried about why the hell do I feel so sick? I could only eat grilled tomato sandwiches.
Is this at what's her face's house? The one we were living in? Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good times.
Good times. Free.
Yeah. And then I think, like, it's funny because I have discussed this with you a lot, Ben, about how a lot of people are, like, angst-ridden over everything they do. Like, when should we get married? When should we buy a house? Where should we live? How many kids should we have? Who's going to do what? And it's fairly evident that we're traditional roles. I'm the mother that stays at home, and you, the worker that gathers the harvest. And yeah, we just had one kid and then had another kid and then had 10 kids.
Before I forget, I really like this question. When you first knew I was marriage material. Go.
Why is the computer turned off?
Do you want me to check it?
Yeah.
She will answer that while I'm checking technical difficulties.
I think I haven't thought about this before, but I think it's more that I was desperate to be married. I didn't want to be alone for my whole life. And I actually didn't think anybody would ever be interested in me. So it was kind of like, you're interested? Woohoo.
Let's do this.
And it's worked out all right.
So what? I was just a settle.
Well, then
You didn't magically look at me and go, "That's the guy." Angels didn't come down.
Yeah, but you
strumming
were
harps.
very rough. You were rough. Long hair, smoking in a non-attractive way. I mean cigarettes. A lowly Macca's worker.
Hey, look, we all fall short.
No, I'm not
Let's
bagging
not
you.
dwell.
I'm saying back then, I just kind of knew you were the guy. Well, that stuff was just the roughage.
You just needed to chip away.
Well,
Mine was the bonnet. You remember the bonnet?
we need to delete everything else I said.
And I'm bringing this up because it's a great little memory I have.
Mm-hmm.
She was trying to get on or stay on the bonnet of, I think it was it my sister's car?
I thought it was the Crusader.
Was it our car?
We called
your
it,
car.
yeah, the gold, but it was really brown.
And she already liked me because she bought this car because of me. Yeah.
Hold up.
So we weren't together.
So I was like 19 years old. I never had a boyfriend, never had any love interest, and I really wanted to have a boyfriend. And I remember lamenting, thinking, I'm never going to have a boyfriend, I'm pathetic, and it's never going to happen. And then your sister said, I know someone, he's desperate too. It'd be perfect, you're both desperate. And he's my brother's friend, Schaefer.
Right.
So it wasn't even...
So not me.
Maybe because you're just her brother, it hadn't occurred to her. And I had started hanging out with her a lot, and then one day you walked into the house with Schaefer, and I looked at you, and yes, you had your long hair and everything, but I was like, Shazam.
I'm the guy.
The guy.
I had long hair.
Did you only have a goatee as well?
Yeah, it was probably rough though. Overgrown. Yeah. Not taken care of.
And I thought you were really shy. Like, really quietly spoken and shy.
Right. Was I?
Well, maybe because you're meeting a person you don't even know.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But I do remember pretty immediately thinking, yep, for you. I didn't even give your friend a second glance. That was deleted immediately.
Good move. Good move.
And straight for you.
Right. That's
so
right.
I liked you that whole time.
Yep. So you were trying to sit on the bonnet of your car, and it was on a hill, and you kept slipping off. And I'm probably going to sound really sexist right now, but I never really found girls funny. Like all the girls at school and stuff that were, of interest to me. I never actually found them funny. Like I'd fake laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You were the first. You know, they say, comedy, wit is a sign of intelligence or whatever. I don't care. But whatever it was, you made me laugh, genuinely. And seeing you try to stay on that bonnet, that was my sign.
And I think about myself now, and I think that's actually, without realizing it, that was a strong indicator of my actual personality, that determined nature. It became the battle. It wasn't trying to be funny. It was like, a car cannot overcome me. When it was literally, I think we call it gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was literally impossible. The car was on such an angle, you wouldn't have been on that bonnet for very long anyway.
I'm still so frustrated thinking about that.
But yeah, that's how I knew. That's how I didn't accept it though. Like in the moment, I was like, nah, not a chance. But you grew on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we went to No. We dated for a while, like 3 years. 3.5 years.
I still remember after we were married for a couple of years, you're like, I would have married you sooner. And I'm like, what?
So what? I still hadn't married you, but I was saying...
No, we'd been married for a few years, and you're like, thinking back to how we dated for 3 years, I probably would have married you sooner had I known. And I'm like, I would have married you after 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I was so hot.
Oh, you're so wonderful.
Hold up, you didn't agree with the hot. Come on!
Yeah.
I've like a fine wine, I'm better with age.
You're the
Don't
better.
be blinded by my niceness. Just pure hot sexiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can barely control myself right now. I'm like sweat patches all the way down to the hem of my
Yeah, I shouldn't have worn this hoodie.
hoodie.
What's next? What was I going to talk about? Yes, that's right. We were dating for a little while, and you were growing slightly impatient, and I finally proposed. I went to your dad.
Well, no.
And your dad, when I went to your dad, he was in his element.
You got to backtrack.
As soon as I... What do you mean? Why?
We got to backtrack. Firstly, we dated for a while, and I was immediately like, are we going to get married? Are we going to get married? And then we did the cursory looking at jewelry stores if we're at the shopping center. And then we were told by someone in your family, hey, there's a jeweler like below the shop. Go and talk to them. So we go in, and I'm like, come on. And we made the design for the ring, and it was going to be like $2,600.
Oh, that's right, yep.
Which was like $1 million for us.
Yep.
And at that stage, we were going to Bible college. And so Ben, you were working basically part-time. I don't even know if I was working at all.
Yeah, I think a little bit.
Maybe, yeah. And then it was like, I think you determined I want to marry her, but you came back to me and you're like, all right, Katherine, I want to marry you, but we're going to have to redesign the ring or something because it's going to take too long to get the money for the ring. So we went back to the jeweler and spoke about a more budget-friendly ring, but it was still like $1,400, which is so much money for us.
Yep.
And then you had loaned a stereo. You had put a stereo into your sister's car, and it got stolen from her car.
I don't remember this at all.
She then gave you $600 to pay for the theft of the stereo.
Really?
This is what I remember, unless you made up an incredible story. And then you went and you purchased...
Or put a deposit down or whatever.
No, you like got the ring and then you went to Dad after that. But if your stereo had never been stolen... Yeah. We could still be waiting.
I think I had paid the ring off a bit though.
Yes.
It was like still $1,400.
There was like the remainder, and you used that cash, went and paid it off.
Right. Okay. Well, I went and spoke to your dad, and yeah, he was in his element. As soon as I came in, he's like, "Oh, Catherine's not here," and I said, "Oh, I'm not here for Katherine. I'm here to talk to you." And this smile crept on his face, and he was like, "Oh, come in." And I just knew he knew what I was going to do. And John Pillifant was there.
Yep, my uncle was there. This is all coincidentally. Like, it was just...
And your brothers.
Oh.
And he called them down because he knew what I was going to do. He called them down to witness this monumental moment of me asking to marry his daughter.
Yeah. And it was either the same day or the day after my older brother's birthday. So there was this thing of like, we're going to go out for dinner to celebrate Travis's birthday. And the plan was somewhere along the way, because it was up in the hills, you would stop at Sky High or somewhere, propose,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'd walk in and the families would be there to celebrate.
And I was very scared. I don't know why, because I knew you wanted to get... we were going to get married. But it's always the moment that you're always scared. I don't know why. And so the plan was to stop at Sky High, and we did. We went to Sky High.
Oh, you said nothing?
I was too scared. We didn't do anything. We just went to the dinner. And you were like the whole time clueless, like...
Totally oblivious.
You're like, no, we're not going to Sky High. We've got to go to dinner. We're going to be late.
Oh, yeah. Why are we doing this? And then it was something
I'm
like...
I just want to check it out. I just want to have a look.
Yeah.
We're up the mountain. Why not? Let's just go.
Yeah.
Because the restaurant was up there as well. And I didn't do anything because I was too scared. And then when we actually got to the restaurant, I'm like, man, I got to do this before we go in. So I asked you in the car park.
Yeah.
And Cherie was out the front smoking.
Yeah, Ben's sister was at the front, and I think she detected something was happening and, like, dove into the bushes. And then I still remember all these years later, this is probably not the prime location, but will you marry me? And I went, no way!
Elaine.
And shoved him away, like, no way! And then I think got the ring out. I'm like, I can't wear this. People will know. People will know. And then...
Technical difficulties again.
We went inside, and there's all these people. And I'm just so overwhelmed because, newsflash, I'm not entirely an extrovert kind of person. And my dad took a photo of me, which I don't even know if we still have a copy of it. We went to a restaurant called the Snooty Fox.
Yep.
Up in the hills. And this place was loaded with, like, taxidermied foxes and everything. And I'm just sitting on the chair looking traumatized.
Well, when I asked you, you're like, they will know.
They will know.
They will know. And I'm like, yeah, that's why they're all here. It's preloaded. They're all expecting a proposed couple to come in.
I'm like, this is my brother's birthday. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, that
and
was
then
the
he's
ruse.
Like,
that
this
was
is the Katherine. Get it through your thick head. This is from me proposing to you, you saying yes, and us having dinner together. Forget your brother. And I'm still on that wavelength of you're ruining my brother's birthday. Why would your parents be here for my brother's birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, after that, you had the ring on, and you were like, they will know if I wear this. They will know. They will know I'm married, and I'm getting married. And when she put her wedding ring on, it was the same thing. They will know we've done it.
Hey. This is PG.
That's fine.
We're going to have to put an E on our thing now.
Just edit that out. They will know. Beep.
Yeah. Amazing. And this is... I'll just shoot the breeze with you here. But I remember we got married at the same time as like 10 or 13 other couples. And there's like, I think maybe 3 couples that are still married all these years later. And
wow.
I think that for us, it's obviously been, we have the same faith as each other.
Yep.
But our common union of humor.
We click. We get each other.
Totally get each other. And I think we're still just like, I should say friends with benefits, but yeah, it's amazing to me how, well, it's not really amazing. It's like, I think it's truly the one flesh. It's truly like one of us can't fully be okay without the other.
No.
Which is really amazing to me.
Yeah.
Only because I see the prevalence of breakups and issues, and you look outside and you see people really struggling. It's actually made me more grateful because I know we're in the minority. So more grateful, not in a position of like, hey, I sorted myself out kind of thing. But yeah, so 17 years later,
Still together, still going strong.
10 kids,
10 kids.
2 dogs,
2 dogs.
a bunny,
2 bunnies.
1.
2.
What?
Yeah. We had 1 years ago.
I'm talking about right now. What we have right now.
I thought you were just going through all the
We've only ever had the
animals
2 dogs.
we've had.
I didn't. We've had like 9 guinea pigs,
Well, I thought you were going to mention them too.
bro.
Bro.
No. So our current status is married, happily married.
Yep.
10 kids, 2 dogs that are very elderly. So every day is kind of are they still here?
Nearly there.
Are they gone? A new bunny, and like 6,000 bees, and the beehive.
Oh, yeah, the bees. We have bees. No honey yet.
No. Well, I still stand by I want to be a good beekeeper, learn how to care for the bees, and the honey is the bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Because
just keep them alive. That's
bit of a
target
learning
number
curve.
1.
But yeah, so there you go. I think that's kind of good for a first little
First episode.
intro.
Us. How we got together and where we stand right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's us.
And on this podcast, I think we're probably going to be talking about things that we've learned along the way. There'll be other topics, though, I'm sure. Other things that might interest us or something major that we saw in the news that we want to discuss or whatever. But the hope is a weekly podcast.
And when it becomes huge, we'll start interviewing famous people.
Huge learning curve.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. So this whole room is completely different.
And this might not even work.
Nah. Bro.
But this is take number 1. So if it does work,
it'll be great. And this is all going to be presented episode 1 on the YouTube channel, 10 Kids No Sweat.
Yep.
So we will link below any things we need to link, like other YouTube channels that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So that might give good context if I say that this room, like a fortnight ago, was a hobby room where I would make quilts.
Sewing.
It's now like a studio.
Sewing's gone.
You can check out my YouTube channel to see.
Yeah, there's plenty of footage there
Other things
of what it used to look like.
Happen in our life.
Yeah.
But we'll keep on keeping on. We'll go find out if our children are still alive and present and alive for. I can't even speak English. What's that?
Alive and present.
Alive and... We'll check on the kids. And we'll talk to you guys in the next podcast.
And we'll get better and better at this.
We will. There'll be like dance route. No dancing. There'll be
dancing?
like a theme song. I don't know, guys, but it's all going to be good. And I'm sure you're going to love it.
See you next time.
Bye. Hello.